Ladies and gentlemen, you have waited all week.
Yeah, Boogie Page. Throwing it down for All Things BMX is ready. I know I am. Attack the ATV Airways. Let's kick it. All Things BMX. It's a BMX show. Unlike the rest, if we need some info, they got the best. Like and subscribe, kick back and relax. And it's All Things BMX. It's a BMX show. Unlike the rest, if we need some info, they got the best. Like and subscribe, kick back and relax. All Things BMX is streaming to you. So post up on your couch, screencast to YouTube. It's gonna be fun, it will be a blast. You gotta do much but kick back and relax. They coming to you live from a studio, or they might be at the track, man, you never know. So don't go anywhere when my rhymes are done, cause the show's just starting, let's have some fun. I said it's All Things BMX, it's a BMX show. Unlike the rest, if you need some info, they got the best. So like and subscribe, kick back and relax. I said it's All Things BMX, it's a BMX show. Unlike the rest, if you need some info, they got the best. So like and subscribe, kick back and relax. All Things BMX got the boogeyman's back, so I wrote them this track to send some love back. JT, Melissa, Chris and Paul, DJ Damon, can I get it entertain y'all? And I wonder who they'll have on the show as a guest. I bet someone good who's gonna impress. Guess I will just have to wait and see. Let's get the show going and start the party. I said it's All Things BMX, it's a BMX show. Unlike the rest, if you need some info, they got the best. Like and subscribe, kick back and relax. I said it's All Things BMX, it's a BMX show. Unlike the rest, if you need some info, they got the best. Like, subscribe, kick back and relax.
All right, welcome in episode 112, take 97. This is the captain. We've got Nick and Lindsay Long joining us this evening, along with their hairless cats, Kevin and Blanche, for the blockbuster third moto with no previous shows. That's a record.
I feel like he should be a general by now.
yeah, exactly.
You should be promoted.
I can't move up anymore. I'm retired racing. So. Elite.
So you retired as a captain.
Retired as a captain.
Well, we want to welcome Nick in. Thank you again for joining us, Nick. We're happy to have you here. And we're going to get this going tonight. Our opening song is brought to you by the Boogeyman himself. Make sure you check him out on Spotify. The link's in the chat. Go give him a like and a follow. The show chat is brought to you by our good friends over at BMX Rocks Photography. Get over there, give them a like, give them a follow. And if you've got a cool picture, maybe it's of the captain or Damon or even Boogeyman, she can get that printed on anything that you want. It can be a pair of underwear, boxers, a bag, a shopping bag, whatever. Newsmaker segment is brought to you by the good folks at BMX Racing Forum. It's the Reddit of BMX. Get over there, talk some trash, post some information. Melissa's world famous trivia segment is brought to you by Bombshell BMX. Mm-hmm. You got a good one tonight, right?
I mean, I don't know.
I think it's good. I was bragging about it earlier.
Well, you probably shouldn't do that.
Well, I have no idea what it is, so it should be probably good to me.
Yeah. Our showcase segment is brought to you by Answer BMX. Melissa's world fame. Oh, we did. He said announcer Paul.
Well,
he's not here.
He's
not here. But he's still brought to you by our good friends over at Richfield Park BMX. So heal up. Yeah. He's on his third hip. So heal up, my friend. And
Hello.
Hi, Lindsay.
Congratulations.
Yay.
Yes, the internet is not down. Xfinity's finally working. DJ Damon brought to you by, who is it, Damon?
Guys over at Truth BMX Products.
That's right. Birthday shout-outs brought to you by On Two Wheels, and we have a bunch of them this evening. And I know Chris would do a way better job than we're going to do tonight.
You know it.
Our show opening's brought to you by Gate 9 Custom Number Plates. Make sure you guys get over and get your number plate ordered. Damon, you want to let them know where they can listen and watch the show?
All right. You can check us out on YouTube, Apple, Spotify. We still got people on Twitch?
Yep. We do.
Oh, we still got somebody over on Twitch?
Bro, there's someone on there right now.
Oh, shit. Okay. There you go. Check it out on all your wherever you check out your podcast from. And it's brought to you by Dye Job?
Dye Job Apparel.
Yeah, that's right.
You guys, they can print on anything. So,
True.
Thanks for everyone for making that happen, man. We do appreciate it. Welcome back to the show, Nick, for the third time. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
Well,
I'm excited. I'm excited that it's working finally.
It's
Yes.
yes, Xfinity's working.
This is live.
We found the culprit of what happened. They're building a new sports stadium down the road, knocked out the internet, and it also took out the power at Melissa's daughter's school. So, but
Did you say they had to cancel the last day of school?
kind of.
Yeah. She didn't have school today because there was no power.
You had to bring candles to school today.
Yeah. There's all right. Was that Blanche or Kevin?
That was Kevin. And
I like
Look,
it.
I don't know. I can't tell them apart
like
yet.
it. I
Maybe
like
by
it.
the end of the show.
I'm
I'll
sorry.
tell them apart.
They're naked cats. They're freaky.
I like
I
it.
mean, I don't know.
Aw.
Yeah, they just don't work for me. I'm sorry.
I see that and I just think of Dr. Evil. I
Yes.
just can't
Yeah,
not
exactly.
think of Dr. Evil. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Nick.
That's great. So we're gonna jump in here, man, because heaven forbid something else happens.
Let's start a conversation.
All right, man. First of all, let's get started, man. How did you guys? How'd you and the fam find BMX?
Shoot, take it back to '97, I think it was. I used to play Little League. You know, I have cousins and uncles all relative same age, within the grade or two. We all played Little League together. I didn't really like the, sit on the bench. Everybody kind of got a turn. So we all rode bikes quite a bit as well. Had dirt jumps and, stuff in people's backyards. So really my dad just took me to the track one day. He never raced, but he used to jump over the fence or ride the track when he was a kid. It was just in our town, Lakeside. Anyways, he took me to the track, watched it, just kind of fell in love with it. And I had to buy my first bike. I had like some savings bonds or something from a grandma. Bought my first GT Power Series, which is probably bigger than the bike I raced on. But I had to buy it to commit to the sport and, not just go a couple times and it'd be over with. But I think like 2 weeks into it, my middle sister started racing. And then a few years later, my younger sister got into it as well.
Wow,
Oh,
definitely
wow.
a family
Okay.
affair.
What was your first track that you remember?
I started racing at Cactus Park BMX, Lakeside, California. It's just a little outside of San Diego. But the track, I mean, it was always pretty small, but it kind of harbored a lot of fast racers. Probably just because we're in SoCal. But we had, national #1 riders like Kevin Royal, Wes Jones, Brooke Elder, Ashley Recklaw, eventually like Rusty Nesvig. It was, kind of crazy how small the track was, but, ended up producing a lot of good talent.
Sometimes a lot of small tracks do produce like really good riders that,
Yeah. I think it's just people being able to work together.
Yeah, that could be it too.
That's a good point.
All right, so you
A
still got
cohesive community.
so you still got that GT Power Series bike laying around, or
Oh, no, I don't keep anything. I don't even have an Olympic bike laying around.
what?
Well, you do understand he's sitting in his house.
Yeah. I can't
They've
tote it in here.
downsized quite a bit over the years.
I'm sorry. The bike collection would be sitting at my parents' house or somebody's house,
No, Nick's a giver.
Yeah, Powers BMX Museum has my Rio bike, and I donated my London bike to Dan's Comp when I was sponsored by them. They were supposed to do like some sort of raffle before they went under, so that one might have just got thrown in the bin.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
It was just a frame and fork, so it wasn't a big deal. And I didn't do that good in London anyway.
You were in the Olympics.
Yeah, exactly.
First off,
Look,
step one.
like if I would have made it to the Olympics for anything, even if I'd have went there just to watch it, it'd
We
be like
could
a
do
shrine.
curling, dude. I think we still have a shot at curling.
I'm all about curling. My mom has trained me for years for sweeping the kitchen for
Yeah,
curling.
exactly.
I got that down.
You're going to have to find it's going to have to be Thunder Midget running down there chasing that
There's the
stone.
team.
There's the team.
Rick Carter and Damon and I, and we're all just slugging Coors Lights as we're playing the game.
I don't
Gotta
think they
stay
let you
loose.
do that on TV.
That's great.
Okay, it'd be inside a water bottle, but we're still going to be slugging them down.
You got to have the sponsors,
Yeah.
product placement. When was it you just kind of knew you were going from just recreational to you're going to take this sport serious and start doing it at a higher level? Like what age were you around, and kind of walk us through that?
I mean, even before BMX was in the Olympics, I remember I'm sure my mom still has it because she's a collector of things. But I remember writing this magnet thing that was on the fridge. It did something like I would Olympic someday, and I just remember that was kind of cool. But I guess as far as taking BMX more serious, it was always pretty serious because I was on my dad's team. He ended up creating a team as soon as we started racing, basically. So we were, fully committed to it for life from the beginning to. But I think right around 16, 17, going between the point of graduating high school, having to go do some sort of college and or have to work, I realized I didn't want to have to do, some 9-to-5 job like my dad did. And I was, to preface all that, I'm not a super competitive person as much as you'd like to think I am. But I kind of forced myself to do that because I didn't want to, have to have a regular job or, I didn't really want to be just a mediocre human, I guess.
All right.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It's like get up every day, punch a clock, ride my bike.
Get on my bike every day.
Do that. I did a little bit of everything, like right out, graduating high school. I went to college for a little bit, did a semester, hated it. Then I worked because I had to either go to school or work to live at the house. It was just kind of mom's deal. And I just hated both. So I kind of was like, Mom, this BMX thing is going to work. I just kind of made it work.
I was gonna say, how many jobs did you quit because you needed that weekend off to go race and they wouldn't let you take it off?
I never actually had to have like a grocery store job or something like that. My family, they own like a construction business in San Diego, and I also had another team manager dad. He did some. I did like some security, not security, but like.
So you got lucky.
Motion sensors, stuff like that, running lines.
Okay, all right. You got
I'm
lucky.
pretty handy.
Yeah, well versed.
Yeah. I can't tell you how many jobs I quit just because I needed to go do something else. Just like at that age.
What? I can't have Saturday off? Peace. I'm out.
Yeah. I was too deep into BMX to even think of getting a real job.
Oh, I used to quit jobs. I tell them I need these days off. They schedule me. I'm sick. After about 3 weeks, then they finally says, you're not qualified for us. You can't work with us
Sorry,
no more.
Mr. Tucson. It's not going to work out.
Exactly.
When did you? What was the age you were right around when you decided that you were going to go pro? Was that a few years out of high school, like 20, 21, somewhere in there?
For the time, I kind of turned pro pretty late. I didn't turn pro till I was 19.
Okay.
And at the time, I raced a kid, Joey Bradford, and you may or may not know, but I raced him my whole life. He's like 4 days younger than me, so I literally raced him every single national. And I think he turned pro when he was 16. But I actually was a pretty mediocre racer up until 16, 17. I won like some B nationals and stuff like that, and I got nag plates, but I was never like I was a 3 to 5 guy. I joked about that later in my career, even as a pro, but it didn't really matter to me. I always felt like once I made the main, I made the people I needed to make happy. Mm-hmm. And so kind of how I raced, until I had to turn it up a little bit, and once I went for those amateur titles, and that was a lot of fun. So that kind of sparked a little bit of competitiveness in me, but even through my pro years, it was still like, make the main, and my sponsors were happy, and I was content with that. I got to continue doing what I did. I didn't have to push myself and crash and die every race, but I made the people happy I needed to with the effort I had to put out.
Nice.
And as well as I accomplished my dreams and being able to control the effort I was able to put out.
Okay.
All right.
That's a good point.
All right. Now, how can I say this? You raced a lot of different tracks around the world, across the country, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Is there any track that just made you, when you saw it, you just puckered up and was like, I don't know how I feel about this track?
Yeah. We were kind of in the early stages of Supercross, and then especially, things progressed. I think things got pretty big all the way up through the test event for London. But I think the gnarliest track that I ever went to was the Rio test event. And the jumps were just absolutely bananas. We didn't even end up racing the pro side for like, so this is 2015, basically 1 year out from Rio. We went test the track, and the step up that we did race it was a lot of fun. But the one when we showed up to this, there's a photo if you go through my Instagram, and it looks like you're trying to jump over a building. It's fucking crazy.
Wow.
And there's like stairs built into the backside of the landing, and nobody jumped this step up. I couldn't. They tried to get us this.
I remember that. It was didn't they steal that idea from that Red Bull race in
yes.
The Red Bull speed style thing? Yeah, the Revolution. They stole that step up from that idea because that jump was bonkers.
That one was even better. But yeah, Ritz did build both those tracks, I believe. But no, I think he stole this one from straight up Excite Bike.
Excite Bike.
All right.
There's an awesome reference.
Okay, for all our younger viewers, that was a video game.
Let's see if I can get that picture up.
I had to ask that question before I forgot it. My
no,
mind.
that one was terrifying. And like you said, nobody did the whole track. And I don't think there's been a track where that's happened.
Wow.
No kidding.
Yeah, I mean, I look at all these different tracks, I used to travel the country and the world and all this stuff, and I'm just like, it got to be one out there that just says, nah, I'm good.
Yeah. We did that.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just saying another fun track was the South Korea race. It was like an invitational race, and the whole track was concrete. That one, if you look up videos for that one, it was pretty funny, too.
Damn.
What's been your favorite track that you've been invited to or you've rode, and maybe not even just not race, but you've just went to this track and this was the funnest track you've rode at?
The funnest track I ever rode, or I mean the funnest race day even still, is the London test event in 2011, and I think that was like the peak of Supercross tracks. I don't think there's a better Supercross track before or after. Like, that track was just so much fun. There were so many different types. There was a berm jump. There was like a snake turn. There was a box jump.
Okay.
It was crazy because like there was a big rainstorm the day of, so everything kind of got crammed. We went to a single moto elimination. And it was such a fun race day for how like the chaos that started everything.
Wow.
But it ended up being so much fun. And I podiumed as well, which was icing on the cake. But I think, even if you go back and watch that race too, it's probably one of the most exciting races in the last 20 years.
Huh.
Sometimes a race like that on a rain day, it just turns out to be more fun because you just like one and done. This is what it is.
Different than the norm.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably why I did better, because it was just like, all right, show up. You didn't have time to stress. They cut up 2 rounds, so it was like, you better get top 4 right now, or your day's over in 35 seconds. So it was pressure, but it was kind of a fun, fast-paced pressure. Plus, the track just raced really awesome.
Okay. Yeah, we do a race series like that here every now and then. We call it our 50 and over flat pedal race. 1 lap, no crap. I mean, it's just like
we do that because we don't want to die. Like we don't want to make anyone die.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's crazy.
2 laps, all death. If that happens.
Well, our whole shot awards a 6-pack of Tall Boy Coors Banquet.
There we go. Promoting hydration.
Yeah, exactly. The guys are more excited about winning a whole shot than they actually are about winning a race.
Facts.
I mean, that's what I cared about too in Rio. So.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
I'm still waiting for the answer whole shot award, or like an aluminum medal or something. That'd be cool.
All right.
I think I found the picture. This is let me pull this one up here.
It was funny because the first time we did the race, the guy who won, as soon as he got the beer, he cracked one open. He looked at his daughter. He's like, "You're driving home." I was like, "All right, there we go."
That was before they redid it, right?
No, because when the test event track, the berms weren't painted. We didn't see until the day we showed up. It was kind of crazy.
I'll keep digging to see if I can find one. Because
it's on my Instagram. It would just, you have to go to 2015.
Okay.
All right.
Wow.
So were those colored berms and stuff a distraction to you guys at all, or?
To me, honestly, it was. It was actually really, really difficult. Leading up to that, I throughout my career, I've gone back and forth with goggles. But leading up, within that year, I hadn't been wearing goggles. And then when we showed up to the track, the the transition from the orange slurry to the green turns, I almost rode off the track down the last straightaway because there was no, you couldn't see any of the transitions. Everything blended together. So it was super. I had to go after one lap. I had to go find Steve Blick, the Oakley guy, and get some goggles to race with because it was so hard to see. It's like there was no definition in the turns because they were just bright green. You know, there's no tire marks. So that was actually kind of a difficult thing to adjust when we showed up for a read.
I would never have thought of that.
Yeah. I think I'd have found some spray paint and came out there after it closed and just been like, throw some markers out there.
We did that on when they built the tracks in Chula. They slurried it, and same thing. I couldn't see any of the transitions, the peaks of the lips. Like if the landing was taller than the lip, you couldn't see the crest of the lip, so you didn't know where you were riding off. So we ended up having to paint lines across all the tops and the peaks of every jump. And I mean, some tracks are still like that now, but it was definitely more difficult on the Supercross tracks.
Yeah. Wow. I can see that.
What's your training look like for the Olympics? Anything
what do you
special? Mean? Like, did you spend any more time in the gym? Change your nutrition?
Eat a lot of chicken wings. I mean,
as much as you could.
Do you want me to be honest? Do you want me to tell you what you guys want to hear?
No, I want you to be honest.
I prefer honesty. Yeah.
How many times did you go to B-Dubs in a week? I mean, that's.
I mean, to be honest with you, 2016, I probably didn't party harder any other time. I mean, besides after that.
Yeah.
But I had my coach over from New Zealand, and we would train, 6 days a week, but then we would party every night too. So it was, I mean, I was young, 26, whatever.
You can do that then.
I mean, we had a good thing, and it kept everything super fun. I really had to get my life together in the mornings every day, but we got our training done, and I think that's what kind of what carried me through so well into Rio. Was I was prepared, my body was prepared, but mentally I prepared myself without the stress,
Yeah, that makes sense.
So we kept everything super light and had a really good time, but we were also going down in the party buses downtown to the clubs every night. So
can I get his number?
Wow.
I mean, that's the trainer I need right there. I mean, that's my type of trainer. So send him my way. Maybe I do better this year.
Yeah, it's in the program. Super stuff.
Yeah, there you go.
What was one of the big aha moments, like, whoa, I'm in the Olympic type thing that you had, experience that hit you when you were there? Like maybe it was Olympic Village, or how everything is just literally by schedule when it's time for TV or something like that. Like, what was that big thing for you when it kind of hit you? Like, holy cow, man, I'm in the Olympics.
I think I had probably 3 moments that I could wrap around the Olympics that were like, either epiphany type or like wow type moments. And the first one being, it was weird. The whole thing for London, it's still kind of not really a blur. Like I remember everything, but I didn't really have a good season leading up to it. I did really well at the test event. And really that's what got me through to get the coach's pick. So it was really insignificant all the way, qualifying for that. I dealt with a lot of injuries that year too. I had broken a wrist and got some hardware in. I ruptured a disc in my back. I'm not making excuses, but I just showed up kind of unprepared, but stoked to be there. And it wasn't really till I qualified through time trials well, 7th, and then I showed up race day and I slept weird the night before, and I just my back was shitty. Anyways, when I had to race 5 rounds that day, I crashed the first round. I had to put a foot down in a 3rd round, and then I almost won the 4th qualifying round. I got passed at the line because I made a mistake, and then I won the 5th, but I missed out on the points. I tied for the last qualifying spot, I didn't. I missed by 1 point. And that walk out of that last lap of the stadium, there's a photo of that too. Derek Betcher took it, and there's the moto board, and I'm number 1 on the list, but I didn't qualify for the next day. And I remember walking out of the stadium. I could barely walk. I was actually J Rich walked my bike out of the stadium for me because I was so hunched over. But But I remember walking out of that stadium really let down and really bummed out. Like I almost wanted to quit racing kind of, and that's probably the only time I ever felt like that. But I realized I had to do whatever it took to make it back, to go to the Olympics again, just to redeem that feeling. So I didn't walk out of there with my head like between my legs. Mm-hmm. And so that being one was probably the first like, oh shit, Olympic moment. And then the next two were just at the World Championships in 2016. I came across the line, and the way it'd be hard to explain how the points all worked out that day, but I ended up podiuming in the final, which guaranteed me a spot, as well as podiuming that final. I got enough points to win the overall, which solidified my spot in. So if you watch that video back, it's the only time I ever did like something I would call like a fist, like oh shit, yeah. And I just come across the line, and I'm like standing up, and I'm just like, oh my God, I did it. Like I get to go back and kind of redeem myself. And then the last one just being that same day when I did the podium photo. I remember just my dad being in the stands, and I just like, there's a photo, so not Kirby, I forget his name, Landrum, he took, is this cool photo of me just kind of pointing at my dad in the stands.
Oh,
Nice.
That's awesome.
Nice.
So that was a long story, but yeah, those are
That's fine.
Olympic like aha moments.
We'll never be there, so it's fun to hear.
Right.
Okay. All right, so how can the UCI, when they used to do like the time trials, okay?
Yeah.
Did you like doing time trial racing compared to actually getting in the gate with somebody? How did you feel you rode better by yourself or out there with everybody else?
I don't know. It was kind of a love-hate. Like, I mean, I don't know. I think I made every time trial that I raced. I can't, maybe one I didn't, but they were kind of fun because it wasn't always like there was the riders that would try so hard, just like everything they could, and they would get whatever time. But then there was the riders like that just like, all right, let's just get a smooth lap. And then it was funny to see the difference of those riders, because I was more like, I wasn't chasing anything as much as I love chasing times, but that's always just like from the gate. The full lap, it was fun. It was like just trying to hit your marks and get those backsides. And if you made a smooth lap, you were almost guaranteed to make it back then. Right. That's probably a little more difficult nowadays. But once they started doing like the qualifying for the Supercross races, I wasn't as much of a fan. I liked the time trials, I think, at the time more.
Okay.
Nice.
It was kind of fun. It was, I don't know. It seemed like its own race. Like you were the fastest individual rider on the track, and it was just kind of like a fun little thing, even though I never won.
If you had, which I'm sure you do, kid comes up to you, says, what's one thing I can do? I want to be in the Olympics. It's one overarching, one brushstroke piece of advice for that little kid that comes up to the Olympic, yourself, your Olympian, comes up to you and asks for a little, like that one piece of advice.
The best advice is be somebody that everybody wants around.
Nice. I like it.
I didn't always have all the results. I did well, but I felt like there were times throughout my elite career when I would be helped towards races to, I was given opportunities because I did stuff behind the scenes. I helped, if I didn't qualify for, out of the first round or out of the motos, I was up there cleaning tires for the other guys on Team USA for their rounds, or, taking their bikes back to the pit or whatever it was. I felt like I was a benefit to the team, whether or not I was, able to win. And I think that would be my single best advice, is just to be somebody that people want around.
Nice. We're going to
enjoy that.
We're going to do our first chat check-in, and when we come back, that's a great spot to pivot and kind of talk about the captain camps. Mm-hmm. So I want to talk about that because that schedule is crazy that you've got going on, just touring across the United States. But we're going to check in with Melissa for our first chat check-in with everyone and hanging out watching the show this evening.
Cool.
Sorry. Not. You can tell I'm getting old. I can't read this anymore.
Uh-oh.
We can adjust the font.
No. It's
Okay.
Just, it's just me getting old. All right. I want to say hi to Sean Gifford of Dye Job Apparel. Thanks for tuning in. Emily Schaefer, Scott Foster's with us. Hey, Wesley Burt. Lots of check-ins from Nashville or those that are on their way to Nashville. We appreciate that. Anthony Morris of Morris Digital is with us. Rick Carter, what's going on? Beer Budget BMX in the house. Mr. Brian Fell of Mega Design Group, thanks for checking in. Don Mulvihill, I believe it is.
Yep.
He says he's looking forward to meeting you at the Hill BMX in June.
Yeah, I've been in contact with him.
Yeah, Len and Grayson Novak are checking in over on YouTube. They unfortunately are waiting on a flight trying to get from Las Vegas to Nashville. So
They
they're
still haven't
hoping-
made it yet? Wow.
He was messaging me today.
Yeah, I think they were on a plane and then got off a plane and now they're sitting in the airport.
You should have took that F-16, Lynn.
Austin Kelly is with us. Thanks for tuning in. Mo Collins, him and his wife, who is one of our sponsors, Roxanne with BMX Rocks Photography. They are checking in from I-65 southbound to Music City. Craig Robinson is also with us. Our good buddy Paul Remington checking in the chat.
The
Thank you so much.
pulverizer.
Mr. Chris Medler is also with us. Says, hey guys. Jeremy Jacobson says he's riding dirty from Akron. And David Dortona of DB Sports World is checking in as well. Kim Benson Fugger says hello. She is one of the moms on the Moms Talk BMX podcast. Our good gal
Her kid's
pals.
got a Parker, I think, right?
It very well could be.
I think so.
I
She's
would
got one of the private lessons on next Friday.
Oh, yeah, that would probably make sense. They are Florida natives. I know that. Joel Moore says thanks for the hoops, Nick and Justin.
Oh, yeah. He actually picked out, he won them from Nick's fundraiser. Your raffle, yeah. And he actually, when we cut back to the studio camera, he picked out the ones over the shoulder here. So he got the Carbone Cartel, the orange scarred edition.
Oh, very
Awesome.
nice. Very nice.
Yeah, he helps run the PI track in Washington.
All right.
Well, there
The
you
indoor
go.
track, yeah.
Oh, that's a fun, that looks like a fun track.
It's a fun track. It's like 200 feet long, just pure chaos.
Yeah. BMX roller
Chaos.
derby action there.
That's awesome. A couple more hellos. Zach Goss checking in says, "What's up?" Jeremy Jacobson. That's my boy's nickname. I'm not sure which nickname we're talking about, but Dylan Fugger says hashtag PK all day. Riding dirty must have been his nickname. All right, I got it now. I'm all caught up. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. We appreciate you. We appreciate you checking back in with us and sticking around, and especially we thank Nick for his patience.
Yes, big time.
Beyond helpful. So put your questions in the chat for Nick, please.
Yeah. And as we're before we checked into the chat check-in, we're getting ready to transition to talk about the captain camps. So let's how did your camps clinics come about? As you do a lot of them.
I don't know. It was pretty organic, I guess. I got to a weird spot in my career, like after honestly after Sam's injury. Him and I are close friends. We were ever since he moved to San Diego, we were always there, always, good friends. Whether or not we chatted on the phone all the time, we always would catch up. And when I had just started dating my now wife, but I was in Florida, and I get a call, or a bunch of texts, like, "Oh, what happened to Sam?" Blah blah blah. And I finally find out, and I figure go home, check, see it, and it really kind of broke my spirit about racing BMX, because I never had to face like the realization about actually how dangerous, I guess, the sport was. And from then on, I never, if I'm just being transparent, I never really recovered in the sense where I was going to push myself to risk anything. I would, I'd not so much back off, but I was always a smart rider anyways, but I was never going to chase something. If it was going to be a risk and I wasn't going to be able to make it home, it really, I don't know, it really got in my head, and it kind of messed me up. So after that happened, I kind of not faked. I still raced, did everything. My elite career was still decent through 2017, 2018 really started to slow down, but I lost that. Like I said, I was never super competitive to begin with. And then when I, it started being less fun because I had so much fear towards it. Mm-hmm. And so that really changed my perspective on it. And then let's say 2019 or 2020, mm-hmm. that year, we weren't able to race all year, which it was kind of nice because it was nice taking a break from that fear of, racing that I was having. I had like my first ever anxiety attack, that 2020 national champs in Houston. And it was so weird, like trying to explain it to my dad. I'm like in tears, not able to breathe on the gate. And I was 30. Yeah, I was 30 at that point. And it really kind of overwhelmed me. And I got to sit back. But then, so when 2020, the pandemic stuff happened, I really had a lot of time to think and just kind of figure out what I needed to do. I spent a lot of that summer. I built a whole set of trails at a friend's house. I did a bunch of trail jams that were a lot of really successful and a lot of fun. It kind of just reset me mentally to figure out what to do next, and I was back to that same 17-year-old kid, like, I don't want to go to work. And I actually did have a job again for about 8 months in 2019 to help pay for my wedding. I worked back at my family's office for construction stuff. I did a lot of computer work. Anyways.
Well, that doesn't count. You got to pay for the wedding, so.
Yeah. Well, so but I was kind of lost. Like, I was making money from sponsors still, but not with the 2020 year. I wasn't really racing. I don't know. I was just kind of mentally unsure of where I was going to go next with BMX. And when 2021 started, we trained super hard for that last for that 2020 Grands. It was all on the line. There's a funny video of me trying to make a pass in the semi for that main event spot with my foot down. But yeah, 2020 came around, and it was obviously I don't want to go back working. What are we gonna do? And I really didn't like doing clinics ever. I never did them in my career. I might have helped my dad at a couple camps. I helped Tyler Brown like here and there, but I never ever did one by myself. And I had no interest in it just because it wasn't really the way that I learned when I was a kid. I think the reason for that is because like I said, going back to our local track, we always had so many good riders. So I was able to ride with these riders all the time, like, hey, can I follow you and jump that triple? Oh, why did I case that? Blah, blah, blah. I didn't ask. I didn't have to sit through a camp or a session like that. And so I just didn't understand why anybody would want to pay for that, besides the fact of me being an Olympian. And like, I felt like I was just taking people's money without me being interested before 2021. And then I took the time to come up with a training or a clinic routine that I really liked and that I stand behind. And that I feel that everybody benefits from, whether, you're a 4 or 5-year-old kid to, I have, 50-year-old men and women in my clinics. And I feel like everybody is able to learn from that. And I have a really good time. And I feel like it's just kind of ended up being my passion now, where, 5 years ago, if I'd have broke my foot off like I did, all I would have cared about was getting back to racing. And now I want to get back to the commitment I made to all these riders and tracks. And that's what I miss. And that makes me feel good about the passion that I have in the sport, and that I'm doing it for the right reasons.
Nice. Well, I want to share this up on this. Oops, wrong one. I have let me go to the slideshow right here. This guy right here.
Oh my God, the hardest working guy here.
This is impressive, Nick. That's something right here. And before I go any farther into this one, say you were speaking how your local tracks you had people you could hang out with and ride, and some of the tracks you're coming to, they don't have that. So thanks for that, because you are legitimately coast to coast top to bottom,
Yeah.
hitting tracks, and it's awesome to see the places you're going and knowing how many people you're going to help too. And we'll get into also slammed in there too, starting this next week. You're going to be helping you're going to be doing the pro experience. So we'll talk a little bit about that in a few minutes, but on your clinic tour here, how much has anything really been impacted? I know you're already walking, so that's pretty awesome, but any impacts with the injury at all as far as the clinics go?
Honestly, it kind of came at the perfect time. I had to cancel a couple because I was going to go from Barry's house. I was going to go back to for the Tulsa National. So I had a couple there. But I think at the end of the day, all said and done, I think I only had to cancel or reschedule maybe 5 clinics.
Okay.
5 or 6. And I think one of them didn't even have anybody registered yet, so it wasn't a big deal. And it, like I said, it just kind of, I had this weird gap where it sucks I had to miss the 2 races that we don't get that many races as pros anymore, or, pro races. But it sucks I had to miss both of those. But it was a perfect time to heal. I was in a safe spot at Barry's house. Even though he wasn't there, I was able to, sit there, heal, be bored as fuck, but got it done.
Yep.
So we'll talk about the injury real quick, and then we'll jump back into the clinic stuff. What was the official diagnosis, and how's the healing going, and what's your therapy look like?
I don't know the diagnosis without reading it off exactly, but I was, so I mean,
you had a tib-fib fracture.
I did it was a 360 tabletop, and I just under rotated a little bit, stepped off, and basically just sat on my foot. And it was so weird, like thinking, even still, I still haven't had that much pain. I know I posted it, but even when it happened, it wasn't like a yell, like, oh shit. I looked at it, and Barry was sitting right at the bottom of the landing because he just went before me. And I'm just like, oh no. And I just kept saying that over and over, like super calm, just like, oh no. And he's freaking out because he obviously sees my foot hanging to the side, but I'm not giving him the reaction that he would anticipate of like, oh my God, your leg's broken. So he was kind of panicked a little bit. But so what ended up happening was it was a mild spiral. I mean, it broke all the way off, but the mild spiral fracture of the tibia. And then there's a small fracture on the, so I said fibula was the spiral fracture. Tibia had a mild fracture in the back. So if you look back at that x-ray, or actually even this photo right here, x-ray, there's a bolt that goes directly through the front, all the way through the tibia. And it's the longest screw in there, but it's hard to see unless I have the side angle. And then there's the plate on the fibula, the lag screw that goes through there. So I think there's 8 screws altogether. And then between the 2 bones, there's basically, they call it a tightrope, which is some sort of wire basically that screws on the outside of this fibula all the way drilled all the way through the tibia. And because the tibia fibia, the gap, I forget what it's called, some gutter, it widened. So they had to basically bolt it back together.
So they just went to Home Depot and got a bunch of parts and screwed your foot back together.
Yeah, just the hardware section.
Yeah.
They're basically trying to recreate the stability that an ankle is supposed to have. When you spiral fracture like that, it really, really affects your weight bearing. And hence the reason why your foot turned in the wrong direction. And kind of stayed there.
But I got lucky on the tibia fracture. It wasn't any part of the bone that's why I think a lot of I didn't have as much pain as gnarly as those photos were. I mean, I would say I am pretty tough, but I don't think I'm that tough.
Yeah, it definitely probably looks worse than it felt.
Yeah, because I even as soon as all those photos where my foot looks all gnarly, as soon as I go back there, I go to take my shoe off, and it was really hard. So Barry had to come back. We had to cut it, and by the time of us messing around with it to try to get the shoe and my pads off, I think it kind of
relocated.
Yeah, relocated back into place. So once we got my sock off and I didn't see bones and blood anywhere, I was super relieved by that. But also, there was no pain. It just kind of felt loose. And I was like, man, I don't even know if I'm going to have to get surgery. This thing might have just been dislocated and a gnarly sprain, but no, it ended up being pretty terrible fractures.
So you were doing a 360 table jump?
Yeah, I've been doing.
I was gonna say, how many
360
times have you done that jump in your life?
Never.
Oh, that was the first time?
Wait, the jump or
Yeah,
the trick?
the trick.
That was the second time I had tried the 360 tabletop, but I've been doing 360s all day, but it was still the same.
Same concept.
That was the
almost.
first day I learned doing 360s, and I I mean, it always happens on your last run, obviously, but Lindsay's like, I was cooking dinner that night, and he's like, oh, all right, I'll get another 1 or 2 laps, and sure as shit, break it off.
That was a mistake right
You just
there.
didn't want to make dinner that
Yeah.
night. I know.
I wanted
Poor-
to. I was making a Mississippi roast in the Instant Pot, and I
gosh.
fucking
Poor
McDonald's
Lindsay.
fry.
Must have been starving.
Yeah.
So got the clinics going around and around, and do you think you've been at every track in the country?
No, absolutely not.
No? Wow.
Nah.
I think with your travel and racing, you've hit
I
about
think
every
there's.
track.
I got a list. Somebody, I can't remember who it is, but somebody put together like on Google Maps a file with all the tracks on it, and then there's like 270 something tracks, I think, or 240 above that, something like that. But no, I haven't been to all of them.
Wow.
It was,
I don't even know. I mean, I couldn't tell you even a rough idea, but I'd like to say maybe 150, 170 tracks.
That's still not too shabby right there.
That really puts it into perspective what that Mike Savage guy does.
yeah,
By
that's what I
going,
think it is.
he's been to like every track, and now he's working on going to them twice or something like that.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I just heard about that guy last year. That is a crazy.
Yeah, we met him a couple years ago, and it's just he was driving to Steel Wheels indoors, and then found out they canceled because of snowstorm, and it went 7 hours north to the track we were at. And he's like, "Oh, it's just a mild detour." I'm like, 7 hours is not a mild effing detour, dude. And he just showed up on was it the New Year's race he popped in at? And this was like, "Hey,
remember.
what's up, bro?" And just showed up, raced, and he's trying. Yeah, and he also announces at everyone too. It's just nuts.
Yeah, he came up to Richfield one time too.
Yeah, he just shows up randomly too. We'll kind of transition then. Let's talk about this pro experience. Lots going on, and for those that are new to this, let's kind of you walk us through what the pro experience is and what your role is at the pro experience. And I'll make sure that while you're doing that, I'm putting links in so they can sign up for the camp. All right?
Yeah. The pro experience, it started last year, I believe, with Brian Wilson and Domingos Lamaglia. He did most of the training camps last year. Brian had came out I met him last year at the Dothan National, and he kind of told me about this idea he had, and it was kind of the first time meeting him. I was unsure about what was going on, but it was a mild success, and we talked later on in the year around Louisville, I think, last year, and I was interested in the program, and so I was able to step in under the umbrella as high performance director for the pro experience camp. And my job entails trying to get all the coaching talent for these camps and to give each rider the best experience possible, and to see how it takes to make that next step from whether it's intermediate to expert or expert to pro, or if you just want to become a better racer for the fact of the exercise that you're doing. But our goal is to show you, like I said, the steps to make you an overall better racer, and give you those 1% that you might not be seeing on a local level.
Nice. And you get to stay.
That was
at a
off
really
the top
cool
of my head.
place.
I'm trying to do the best.
Yeah.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
And you get to stay at a really cool place. And
Oh yeah,
food.
I'm sorry. There's a lot of details. I'm terrible
Of course.
But yeah, so that was my role. We have some awesome coaches coming in here this summer. Jeff Upshaw, Riley House, Carly Kane, Domingos, and all the T-Bone crew. It's a full experience. You get to, there's awesome accommodations on site, pool, food, everything. There's training at the track every day, training off track every day, as well as a local race with some film review, and really just hanging out with the pros and getting to ask those questions that you don't get to ask all the time.
I love it.
Nice.
And what's really, really important, Wednesday night, every Wednesday night, internet working.
Check in.
Check in from C to
We're
it.
checking in with the camp every week with the kids and the coaches. We did it last year. The kids,
so much
the
fun.
kids had a blast with it. And we'll be checking in each and every Wednesday at 8:30. So it'll be fun because our guests are going to get to see a little bit of that, and along with the people watching.
That'll be perfect.
Yep. And one of the weeks we'll have the Moms Talk BMX podcast on, so that'll be fun because they're down there, and we check in, and I know Nick and I have had many conference calls about the camp. Shout out to Jamie Page; she's putting everything together behind the scenes. Yes, and but there's so much, and we put some videos up today. Make sure you guys check them out. They're over on the page, and show some of the accommodations. It's like a 5-minute video. I'll just tell you to go to the Facebook and look at it. We won't put it in here.
But it's all on the Cape Coral track. I mean, it doesn't get much better of a facility than that.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's a nice track.
Agreed. That's Nick
Was it
Jones and his
coincidence
crew.
that I was wearing that Cape Coral hat tonight? No.
I can't see that well, but is that what that is?
Yeah, it kind of disappears in the background.
I got terrible vision, but
Yeah, and sign up. Still got spots. Still can sign up. We just put the information in there. This is as Nick was saying, man. It's a lot different, and we hashed out. By the way, we volunteered you for when we do the 40 and over camp that Damon and I started last night, which we already have signups for. What are we at? 6?
Yeah.
We got 6 guys from last night.
You have loose commitments.
Hey,
They'll be there.
they'll be there.
I definitely would be down for that. I like those are actually the older riders are some of my favorites at like my regular clinics because they pay for themselves. They're actually there to learn. Where some kids just kind of get dropped off for daycare. So I actually really enjoy having the older riders at the camp because they ask the right questions. They're there to learn for sure.
Well, that's part of it.
In between vomiting.
That's
on
going
the
to be
track.
that's going to be part of the training. We also need that extra training course that you were doing for the training for the Olympics. That
I don't know how many
party bus?
clubs they have in Cape Coral.
No.
we don't really need the club, but
40 and over is below age average there.
we don't really need the club. But trust me, we got the pool. We got lots of fifths of half a gallons of.
We also said
beverages.
that morning training probably isn't going to fit, so we're going to have to do something like early evening because mornings might be rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm thinking till like 3 p.m. max.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Perfect.
That's way better. Yeah, we could get a bartender there too.
Yeah.
I think this might just take right over.
A beer garden there.
Yeah, because
At the track.
At the finish line.
yeah, there you go.
That's the only way you're going to convince most of us to get around the track. Let's just be honest.
I mean, you got to look at it in the morning time. We got to wake up. It's going to take us a minute to wake up. We got to, do our
It's
morning
an hour
traditions.
at Waffle House.
Exactly.
So
Oh my god.
it's going to be an hour there.
We got to look at Sports Center from the night before. We got to catch up on that. I mean, we got a lot of stuff to do before
Take
we
a
get to
nap.
track. Yeah, take a nap.
Pre-training nap.
Yeah.
Pre-training nap. I love it, Nick.
After breakfast
Yeah,
nap.
that's because we was at the Waffle House for an hour and a half.
After poop nap.
Oh, it's going to
And
be
if they got
this.
touch
naps can
Waffle House, you're done.
And like Jill said, we can go visit the Joneses. They live across the street from the track. So
Yeah.
I have a feeling Nick will be spending a lot of the evenings at the.
I'm camping at the track. I'm the watchdog.
There you go.
Oh, that's right.
Then we can get Nick Jones with us too. He just won't do the bike stuff. He'll just hang out with us in the evenings.
Right?
Yeah.
He'll make sure there's plenty of ice for the drinks and stuff like that afterwards.
Supervise you.
Telling you, man.
We got this.
We're gonna hash this one out.
Sounds like a lot of money to spend for a hangover.
Wouldn't be the
I don't
first time.
think I've ever not spent a lot of money in that hangover. To be
Right.
perfectly honest with you.
You don't
Alright,
have
that's
to have
true,
cheap
true.
hangovers.
Yeah. So also there was you had mentioned earlier with Kim's son that you were doing some one-on-one training, and tell us a little bit about that because this is available. What day is this available for the campers? And if it's an optional thing, they don't have to do it, but let us know about that.
Actually, well, unfortunately, it filled up pretty quick.
Oh wow, good for you guys.
Yes. So I did 3 1-hour slots on Friday afternoon. So I did a 3 to 4, 4 to 5, and 5 to 6. And it's private to small group, no more than 3 riders. Like, it's hard to do anything mildly one-on-one with obviously more than that. But if we had a small group, if they're all working on the same thing. So the 3 filled up pretty quick. Then I had a few more. So I told them to reach out to the other families. And if they were doing something similar, I'd able to accommodate. So up to 3 per group. And yeah, that filled up pretty quick. So yeah, we're excited to get that going as well. And all the coaches will have that. So I think maybe the T-Bone one might be a fun one for that, because there's so many different coaches. So I'm sure they'll have plenty of slots available for private coaching.
Nice.
After
Good point.
So not only can you go down and get the pro experience, you get a little one-on-one coaching too. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. All right, 2 questions from the chat for you, Nick. First one, will any of your merch be available for purchase at the clinics or the track?
I mean, not this week at the pro experience. I just put the order in today, so I'm hoping that I can get them shipped to maybe like Garrett Rapp in Rockford, and then have them there for the race. And then after that, I hope to keep them in stock. I really like this design. I've been working on it for a little while just to get it. I couldn't get it vectorized correctly just because I'm not very smart. But I'm pretty excited about this shirt. So I'll have them at all clinics, hopefully from Rockford on. And I won't be shipping them personally. It's just kind of a pain in the ass when I'm living out of my motorhome. I can't really stop at the post office.
Understandable.
But since it is, a pretty decent Tangent logo shirt, I'm thinking Rich might be able to print some and ship some from their website as well at Tangent Products.
Awesome.
Nice. Okay, so stay tuned. And then where's my other question? Jeremy Jacobson was wondering, he says, my kid loves to ride but hates to train. How do you get them to train without burning them out? That's the last thing I want to do, is burn them out. Any advice?
That's tough. I mean, the easiest answer is to say keep it fun. And for me, I really, I've said it plenty of times on here, but like not being a competitive person, what made me want to stick with it so much was just what BMX is really. It's BMX to me has been so family oriented. I don't know how my life would have turned out had I not been like, I mean, obviously wasn't from a rough neighborhood or anything like that, but I only have friends in BMX. There's almost nobody from home that I would call up and have a conversation with. I didn't stay close to anybody in school because it was us going to nationals almost every weekend. And that's what I enjoyed. So those are the people I got close to. Hopefully his son has made connections like that and could bud off that. But also something that kind of turned me into being competitive was timing. So my dad got us timers at a fairly young age, and I got really motivated and from timing myself, whatever we had a gate in our backyard, and that's what we used them for mostly. But we were able to take them for sprints. I really, really, like, as not competitive as I say I am towards people or results or whatever, trying to get medals or trophies. I really loved competing against myself and pushing myself like that. It was just taking those little victories, I guess. So maybe introduce something like that where he's able to win mentally by himself and not get through trophies and shit like that.
Are you do you have any thoughts on is your advice usually centered around training always on the bike, or do you kind of encourage other activities, running, sprinting, gym work at all? As far as like kind of switching it up for the kids, like sometimes too much time on the bike, like go play basketball with your buddies, or I don't know, or something different. If it's not, it's not. I was just curious.
If you want to be good at riding bikes, you got to
ride the bike. Okay, I've heard others say that too, but
there are ways to better your body, your muscle through different sports, like gymnastics. For a lot of girls, it tends to happen too, but even boys, I mean, like just building that core strength you get from those type of sports. Track and field, is, a sprint sport as well, and really a dynamic type of movement where you got to push and pull at the same time. So if somebody was going to ask me first, I would look at who was asking the question. Because
Sure.
I mean, even if you watch me in clinics or, if you watch me, I mean, you guys won't be at the camp, but I talk to people differently based on their riding ability. Like I can't tell a 6-year-old kid what I would tell a 17-year-old expert, So I kind of take that into consideration about how I answer their questions.
I like that.
But
Customized.
at the end of the day, I would recommend riding bikes over anything else. If you want to go to the Olympics someday for riding BMX, you better be riding your bike 5 days a week at least.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense.
All right. Well, let me ask you this question, Nick. You raced a lot of great people in your life. Okay.
Mhm.
Who would you say is one of your favorite person or people to race against? Give me your top 2 people that you enjoy riding against.
Like in the sense of who I didn't mind whooping my ass because I knew they were better.
Either they whipped your ass or you whipped theirs. I mean, but when you lined up in the gate with these 2 people, it was going to be a good race.
Shit.
I'm throwing them hard ones at you.
I mean, Sam was a fan favorite of mine. I always enjoyed racing him. You could ask him somehow at some point how many times we'd be racing, and me not being as competitive and knowing how absolutely competitive he was, if we'd go into the turn side by side, and I would audibly be like, go, 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 just take it, because I'm not going to battle him for it, nor did I want to know that he was in second place behind me in the second turn. So I really enjoyed and respected his approach at racing, probably as my favorite. And then David Herman, if you guys remember his name.
Yeah.
He's one of my best friends. He was actually my best man at my wedding. I liked racing him, obviously, just because he was my good friend, and I never cared who beat who. It was fun racing him because he was always so damn fast down the first straight, and then it was fun trying to catch him around the track. Yeah, those would probably be my top 2.
Okay,
Nice.
Not bad.
Is this the shirt we're gonna have right above you?
Yeah, so that's the new design I just sent in. There might be a few different shirt color options as well, but that's my favorite one so far.
I like it.
Yeah, me too.
Dig it.
Yeah.
Dig that. Very nice. This is a perfect transition time to hit our rapid fire segment. So we had a special input from our friends at Branded Pop-Ups. All right. So Brian Fell helped build this list, and I hope you're ready. So brandedpopups.com's mission is to provide a fan brand supporter with the opportunity to purchase a branded pop-up style canopy of their favorite company. So what that means is, look, if you want to buy one of the Carbone Cartel, ATB, I think Shadow's on there. There's tons on the website. You can buy one of those tents and take them to the races. So pretty cool opportunity, like profiles on there. It's pretty neat. So Brian helped us out with this list. So typically we in this segment, Nick, we say, all right, favorite bike of all time, favorite track of all time. But we want to mix it up a little bit. So we're going to go with name association. We're going to throw a name out, and you tell us the first thing. Don't think about it. You gotta just fire it away. All right.
This could be risky. Are we live?
We are live, brother.
Okay.
And this is
I got to do the first one because it's one of my favorite
all
riders.
right. So, all right. Let's do this. Go.
Right. Murs Stromberg.
The GOAT. I think he's probably accomplished accomplished-wise the best racer.
Best racer.
Mm-hmm.
I think winning 2 Olympic gold medals back to back was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That being in London and watching that I was absolutely blown away watching that. I was in the stands.
All right. Donovan Long.
Oh, Big Don. That's the coach. I would say greatest team manager ever.
All right.
All right. Gary Ellis.
I wish I think he quit the year I started, but I mean, it's hard to say anything besides the lumberjack, you know?
That's enough said.
Enough said.
Melissa, you want to take the next one?
Sam Willoughby.
My favorite racer.
Aw.
Nice. David Herman.
My best bud.
All right.
Jeff Upshaw.
Oh man, Jeff man. Oh man, quick. Shit. I mean, that's Jeff man. We had we lived together at my house in 2016 for about almost, actually, I think more than a year. He was probably one of my favorite roommates.
Nice.
All right.
Well, there were so many times I wake up in the middle of the night and his ass would be cooking spaghetti. like 1, 2 in the morning, full of spaghetti. It was so fucking
Oh man,
That's
Okay,
hilarious.
nice.
You want the next one, Melissa?
Barry Nobles.
The slammer.
Hero. Ambulance driver.
I'll probably just say he's probably one of the toughest guys on the circuit.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Jamie Staff.
I don't know what title I would give him best.
What's the first thing that popped in
Respect-
your head when you heard his name?
Respected.
There you go.
Nice. All right.
Mike King.
See, he's trying to.
Yeah.
He's screening
No,
himself.
I mean,
Just let it go,
Cookie
man.
Mike. We always called him Cookie Mike, and when he was the head coach at the training center, he would eat fucking cookies all day.
Okay.
Um.
Go ahead, Melissa.
Mike Redman.
Yeah.
Oh, bone. Roast a bone. That's what I'm talking about.
All right. Brooke Crane.
I don't know. Probably one of my favorite people.
All right.
Okay. This next person, I don't know if you heard of him or not. I mean, he floats around Florida somewhere, named Brian Felt.
Broken Hip is a good one from the training center, as well as fucking The Naked Pitman is a good story for him too.
Oh,
Whoa,
shit.
wait, what's
All
this?
right, nah, man, we'll tune in afterwards
Yeah,
for
that's
that one.
afterward. Yeah.
And I'm gonna slaughter this last name. It's gonna sound like Chris doing
Pecorino.
Lindsay Pecorino.
Oh yeah, that's my wife.
Yeah.
We
So-
like to call her Little Cheese.
All right. Is she still hanging out next to you, or?
No, she's back inside.
Oh, okay.
And then the last question is your favorite Wednesday night, normally on Wednesday night when we have internet and sound working, live BMX shows.
It's got to be All Things BMX.
Thanks. All right. That was a good time. I like that. That was
Yeah,
fun.
That was
All right.
different like that.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate that. You got anything in the chat you want to check in with before we move on?
To be all caught up.
All right. A lot of people just hanging out this evening.
The
Who
story time.
who you riding for right now? Who are the sponsors?
I represent ProGate, Rift Tangent, Rhino Power, 60 helmets, Pro Experience, obviously. Blot Out makes my jerseys for me.
Mhm.
I buy Vans.
love it.
That's a lie. I get stuff from Vans as well, but I'm not sponsored, but then I don't mind paying full price for their shit because that's what I like to represent. Odyssey, Shadow, a lot of great companies. They're very, very blessed. Our Pro Max, how can I forget them? They've been a big sponsor of mine for the last, 7-8 years.
Nice.
All right. I heard that you've been racing flat pedals pretty much this year.
Yeah, I left my clip shoes in Tulsa last year at Grants.
Nice.
Oh, fair
So
enough.
you just having fun this year with flat pedals, huh?
Yeah, it all comes back to just not being, that competitive. I have so much passion for the sport, and if that sounds cliche, whatever it is, I just enjoy being out there. And for the last 25 years, it's kind of been the only thing I know how to do, and not the only thing I know how to do, but the only thing that brings constant happiness around. And I just wanted to be out there. I couldn't reclassify all the way back to class, even though that's about as fast as I am these days, especially racing the vet pro class, getting harder and harder, and me being on flats, I'm getting my ass whooped. But it was never about results for me. I just like being out there, and then if the race is the next step to the the clinic I'm going to next, that's kind of what it's about.
Yeah, it was like somewhere on the internet I just heard he left his clips at home and just threw on a pair of Vans slip-ons and just said, "Fuck it, let's have some fun."
Yeah, that was it.
Nice.
What's the goals for the rest of 2022?
Just getting back to schedule.
Okay.
Really, getting back on schedule next week with the Pro Experience Camp, and then get back to traveling. My wife was brave enough to take off, however long from work, basically retired. She was a hairstylist the last 15 years, but she committed to this adventure, and it's about the travel, it's about the adventure, it's about exploring with my wife and my cats, and then at the end of the day, it's about sharing the great word of BMX, and hopefully stoking some kids out, and they get to see a little bit of what I've got to do, or what I've gotten to do in the sport.
Very nice. We're gonna hit a couple commercials and transition into our Newsmaker Showcase segment, trivia, and the birthdays. You are more than welcome to hang out with us. I understand if you got to leave, perfectly fine. Again, I want to say thank you again for bearing with us from last week to yesterday to finally accomplishing the interview. Thank you again. We really, really appreciate it.
Yes, big time.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you guys for having me on, and I thought it was a great episode.
Yeah,
I like the question. So what's the next gig?
We're gonna do a couple commercials real quick, and then we run through some local news. Well, not local news, but news around that they send in to us. And we kind of talk about it a little bit. Then we do the trivia segment, and we have a gift pack we mail out to the winner. Then we slaughter birthday names, and then that's a wrap. So we probably got about another maybe 20, 30 minutes left. If you want to hang out with us, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, I'll hang out. Can I get some wine?
Yeah.
Right on.
Did you say you're going to get some wine?
Yeah.
Yeah, send that over here. Melissa needs some too.
Yeah.
I gotta sleep somehow.
Oh, that boy. All right, we're going to hit some commercials. We'll be right back with Nick. He's going to get some wine. Melissa's going to get some wine. And David and I are going to do some Crown Royal shots. We'll be right back.
What is our time when no one's watching?
Maybe it's an opportunity to grow in what we do. Maybe it's perseverance when our surroundings tell us to stop.
Maybe it's something we can never get back once we spend it.
Maybe it's something we don't understand the importance of.
Maybe it's a combination of all these things and a new opportunity to recreate the best possible version of ourselves.
Head so hard that your hat can't fit you. Either I'm with you or against you.
DB Sports World, the best value in the world on bikes, parts, and equipment.
All right, we are back. We've got the captain hanging out with us. We're going to go and head on over to our Newsmaker segment, which is brought to you by BMX Racing Forum. It's the Reddit of the BMX community. Get over there if you've got some information you want to share. You've got an event coming up, an open series, or you've got to catch up on some of the shows. Ours are posted there along with the Beer Budget Show. Head on over there, set yourself up a free account, and check out what's going on over there. And this is our first little bit of Newsmaker. Damon, you want to let them know what's going on over at Capital City?
Yes. Elite's Women's Champion, Elita Beeman, is doing a clinic series June 1st, the 15th, and 29th of June. It's, $30? No, $20 per session or $50 for all 3 sessions. Limited 25 riders per day. Check it out.
What track?
Capital City BMX in Lansing.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah. That's her hometown that she's from.
Yep.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah,
that's all right.
No,
that's why you're. That's why we're here. That's why you're on, man.
All right.
Wait. Now you're on. Sorry about that.
I mean, yeah. You're more than welcome to stop by the track when you come up to Michigan.
Do I not have a clinic there?
I think you do.
You're at
or Can-Am.
I know. I think he's at Can-Am.
Can-Am, Richfield, Waterford.
Waterford and Richfield. Yeah.
We'll change. You know what? I'm going to get you in contact with the TO. We'll get something set up.
What days is he going to be in town?
I don't know if I need any extra days added in here.
Here, we got an idea. No. We got an idea. We're just gonna Damon and I'll teach it under the name of Nick Long.
Yes.
No one's gonna notice.
I got an umbrella series of clinics, so these guys just work under me.
Yes. There you go.
Exactly.
They know exactly what to say.
Yeah. Where's Nick Long? You guys look really fluffy. Knock it off, kids.
He said he'd be here soon.
Yeah, he'll be.
I thought you had more tattoos. Dude.
Yeah, exactly.
What we'll do, we'll set up a TV monitor, just how you pop in on the screen real quick and be like, all right.
Melissa, you want to let them know about the Hartland?
Absolutely.
The other Hartland.
Yeah, Hartland, as in heart. BMX is holding their 11th annual OG race. This is going to be in Topeka, Kansas. Saturday, June 11th. They're having a bike show ahead of time from 3 to 4. Tons of bikes, tons of categories. Judging around 4 o'clock. And then they're going to host a men's and women's OG double point and race for life. So the sign up for that is 5 to 6:30. The OG race is 15. The race for life is 20, I guess. So go check them out. They got, pretty sure this is up on their Facebook page. Links in the chat. But yeah, this is a big event for them, and they have some cool bikes that come out of hiding. And then this OG race is just hilarious. So some specific criteria for what you got to ride when you're in that race.
Flat pedals and a quill stem. So it gets pretty interesting out there, Nick. It's a good time.
OG gooseneck?
Yes. Yeah. They sent us the video last year after they got done, and they have some killer prizes for those that make it into the mains. They have all sorts of categories also for the bike contest itself, or the bike show. And then it's really good time. They do a great job making sure they get their media posted afterwards so you can see everything. And the race is just last year's got a little rain. It got some rain, so a lot of foot down action, people taking each other out, just raw horsepower, Gary Ellis style, seat post up to the sky, good times. And if your track team, club, organization, or if you're a pro and you've got something going on, you want to feature something in our Newsmaker segment, send it over to info@allthingsbmx.com. And our other piece of news that we've got going on, and this was hot off the press, this came through, is this one's a cool idea coming out of Connecticut. Chris down there is doing a fundraiser for the new Pro Gate that he got. That Nick is. Go ahead.
Is this Trumbull?
Yeah, this is Trumbull. So,
nice. Love Chris.
Yeah, so he's got a killer idea here, and a way to be part of Trumbull forever is they're selling images of engraved bricks on the front of their Pro Gate, which is super cool. And let me move Nick around so people can see this. So you can have your name right on the front of the gate as a brick, and it's $50. And if you are a company or you just want your name in really, really big print, for $500, you can be in one of the larger spots. But $50 gets your name on the front of the gate, and it's there for forever. And they're moving names over from the old gate, is what he told me. And I'll put the link in. I think it's a great idea. And other tracks should borrow this idea. Chris said you don't even need written expressive content there from consent. Damn it, I messed that up.
I might sponsor a brick and just have my little captain logo on there.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's a great idea.
Send me the link.
All right, no problem. I saw this. I was like, man, what a great idea. Like, man, how cool. And you're there.
Special delivery.
Oh, that's not a glass. That's a pint.
Hey, why did she run away? We gotta,
She doesn't want to be.
Yeah. Is that in a mason jar?
Yes, it is.
Little Cheese has other meetings.
Okay.
Very nice. Very nice.
That doesn't look like Boone's Farm you're drinking. I mean,
we slapped the bag and then we put it in a mason jar.
Yes,
there you go.
Man.
That's what it's talking about.
All right, we're adding slapping the bag to the 40 and over, by the way. I love it.
Oh my gosh.
You better get your training on for slap the bag. All right.
We're doing slap the bag half laps.
Oh, with
nice.
a relay in it.
Yes.
Ooh, man. It's going to get wild.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of vomiting.
Yeah, that's not a summer sport, I don't think. We'd have to do that during like a little, maybe fall, a little cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want these guys to pass out from heat exhaustion, sweating, just alcohol sweating out of their body.
I don't want to drink wine when it's 100 degrees out anywhere.
No.
No, they make hard seltzers for that nowadays.
Yeah.
Maybe a mojito.
There we go.
All right, we're going to go to our next little segment here. This is our trivia segment. It's brought to you by Bombshell Racing Systems. We appreciate Bombshell Dave and company helping us out on our trivia segment.
Great guy. Dave's a great guy.
That man set the record for the longest after-show talk.
Oh, my God.
It went till 4 in the morning our time, and he got on. He was on the West Coast, so I think he did about a 10-hour session just chatting with everybody after the show was done.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, it got to the point we just finally said, hey, we got to get off.
Yeah,
all right.
I got to go to work, man. Sorry.
All right, guys. Got a nice getting fatter by the minute sticker pack going out there. Got a Mom's Talk BMX beverage koozie. And I got a Dye Job Apparel t-shirt with my favorite I'm okay guy on it. And then your T-Bone backpack with all the T-Bone features on there. And of course my script just moved. All right, so the trivia question of the evening. No answers, Nick. But in honor of your ongoing ortho recovery, my question is, what has a spine but no bones? It has a spine but no bones.
No Googling.
Yeah. I am gonna...
Ooh, I know this one.
Is it because it's on the screen in front of you?
I haven't even looked at the screen.
Oh, it's on one of the big screens there. All right, you want to do the read or want me to do it?
Oh.
The Mighty Moseman?
Oh, you were doing that. I'm sorry.
Here we go.
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay.
Join us on the T-Bone sponsored Mighty Mo's BMX cruise aboard Royal Caribbean's Mariner of the Seas. It's a 5-night cruise, September 19th through the 24th, 2022, out of Port Canaveral, Florida. There will be spectacular dining, tons of fun, exciting entertainment, shopping, and so much more. There are several port stops along the way, including stops at Royal Caribbean's very own private island. Gate 9 Number Plates is sponsoring the Stomp and Stew event, which will include a presentation by Stu. We will also be honoring Howard Cato with the Humanitarian Award, and BMXer Eddie King will be the MC for this event. The ATV show is sponsoring a dodgeball tournament, so be sure to sign up and make sure you choose your team wisely. Contact Anita Tillman for all the details and make those reservations. Riders ready, watch the waves. I actually think final payment is due on the 1st of June. So this is the crunch time, people.
Pay up, sucker.
get in touch with Anita and pay your bills.
Yeah. That's right, Nick. You heard it right. Dodgeball.
You can dodge a
That's
wrench.
badass.
Yeah. It's
I would love to see Howard Cato smush somebody with a ball.
we're gonna
get video.
film it for sure. I doubt that we did get the upgraded internet package, but I doubt that's going to be able to be streamed because the bandwidth on the satellite stuff. But it probably might not hurt to not be live in case we end up with a naked mechanic running around or something like that. We don't know, man. You have to edit that out. Damon, you want to let them know who's coming on the show next week?
Next week, we got Bill Ryan from Supercross. That's Wednesday, June 1st. So make sure you come tune in for that.
Ish.
Yeah, June 1st, yeah.
June 1st ish. No, we don't know. We're just gonna abide by the beer budget schedule from now on.
Yeah.
All right. Our next segment, we're gonna say thanks to Answer for sponsoring our BMX showcase. And our first little bit in the BMX showcase is we're going to talk about the 45th anniversary Union Vintage Bike Show swap meet and state qualifier. Good luck, Damon. That's a lot of shit to read. And I condensed that down, by the way.
Oh, man. I didn't even see all this.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Like you said, it's the 45th Reunion Vintage Bike Show swap meet. State qualifier race. Call Steve Lagos, okay. Saturday, June 11th at 11 a.m. See old friends, make new ones, check out cool BMX bikes from the past, and watch the race. Vintage show is $5 per bike for entry, $3 per retro gear display.
Yeah, so you could take like a sweet Jaffa Echo open face.
Hey.
Something.
Yeah, I got a couple of those laying around
right.
somewhere, yeah. Entries give you a ballot to vote for the awards. People's Choice Award is $1 per ballot. Let's see. We also got award divisions, 20-inch race.
Tons of them, man.
Yeah, 20-inch race, freestyle cruiser, mini, weirdo, retro gear, best display. Also, check out the Best Show Awards. Okay, swap meet, $10 for a 10x10 space. For vendors, can you carry around your parts for sale and trade? Yeah, you can. Okay.
Get a wagon.
Yeah, exactly.
Good thinking.
Yep. Oh, you lost the screen. Okay.
You're good.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right. Well, you heard the gist of it.
Yeah. And the link's in there. Check it out. All the proceeds go to the track.
Mm-hmm.
And the award that you win for best in class is the sweet leg lamp from A Christmas Story. That is not a joke.
That is the award.
It's right here. That guy right there next to Nick.
I got a Red Rider under my coat hook right here.
Really?
Shoot your eye out. You better be careful.
Nice.
Camo one. Ford Mossy Oak Red Rider.
Laura, Melissa's daughter, has a pink one. She won it at the Backroads Brawl BMX Jam we were at last year, and that's what she won.
I don't think she shot it yet.
Yep,
but...
she hasn't shot it yet, so we got to get on that.
Shoot your eye out.
All right, Melissa, you want to let them know about the Ladies BMX
Absolutely. This is going to be the second annual Ladies Night Cruising for a Cause charity event. This is happening at The Hill BMX in Elgin, Illinois on June 11th at 4 p.m. Go check out their Facebook page for all the details. It's open to females of all skill levels and all ages, and there's going to be goodie bags and raffles and all sorts of fun things throughout the event. And, of course, it's raising money for a good cause, if you ask me. So go check it out. Appreciate it. And thank you guys for supporting the cause.
Before you change page, and I don't want to get political, but tell me that the logo doesn't look like Trump's little front weave thing.
I can't unsee that now.
No.
Thanks, Nick.
It's like Trump's toupee up there.
Yeah, exactly. That's his his spoiler.
Awesome.
All right. Waukegan, they got some big things going on. The biggest raffle in the Midwest has ever seen. And we pulled this up the other night. Oh, my God. I think you
have a jersey on there?
Yeah, I was going to say, you got a jersey on there. And they have tons of stuff going on there. Make sure you guys head over. I'm going to put the link in the chat. Nick's got stuff on there, man.
There's a ton of jerseys.
Go bid on this.
Yeah.
Here, I can go.
Buy your tickets.
Here we go. We can take a look
check
at it.
it
There
out.
it is.
Cam Bramer's got stuff. Suarez, Nick Long jersey. All this is autographed stuff. Autographed Lauren Reynolds. Connor Fields number plate autographed.
Wow.
What else is going on there? Riley House has a jersey in there autographed. Carly Kane's got stuff. Barry even put things in there. Felicia Stansel jersey. Come on, guys. Go help these guys out. This is huge.
And it's autographed, which like getting autographed jerseys or number plates is one of the hardest things to get.
Yeah, all of that stuff is autographed.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Right. So I'm going to put the link in the chat. You guys can go bid on this. You get your ticket, or not bidding, sorry. It's a ticket, and they're going to be drawing them at the race. So this is going on. This is the raffle of a lifetime. God, we need some intro music for that one.
Yeah, it's only through next weekend.
Yes.
So,
and they'll be pulling the raffle tickets on the 4th at the race. So you still got time. Get in there. Try to get that Nick Long autographed jersey. That's who we're recommending.
I got Waukegan too, I think, this year.
I believe last time you and I talked, I think you did say you were up there. Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty sure. I only look like a week in advance now, or else I overwhelm myself.
Dude, with that schedule, I don't doubt it. Not at all. And if you're a company, track, or an organization, you want to get your information in showcase segment, send it on over to info@allthingsbmx. Melissa.
I do.
You do?
I do have so many.
Oh,
but I have one
man.
very, very special one.
All right.
I'm kind of excited about this. So the question was, what has a spine but no bones? And the answer is a book.
A book.
A book.
Yes.
So Mr. Christopher White, Chris White, as we know him around here, was the first one in my chat to answer that correctly. And he also coincidentally happens to be the volunteer of the month at Waterford Oaks.
Congratulations.
So special shout out to you, Chris. I know you've been super helpful with their beginners league, and they are very grateful, as are we, for your contributions to the BMX world and getting the kids going. So you're a local, so next time our paths cross, I'll have your your prize pack with us. So all right.
Nice.
Yeah, and a couple other shout outs. Emily had it right. Shannon Love had it right. Kim Fugger had it right. So
you should have had your guest on there instead of you announcing it. You should have made me just give my best. I knew it was booked,
yeah.
but you could make that part of the game if you have somebody on.
I like that idea. That's a good
You
suggestion.
just completely make a fool of yourself, whatever. But it would be pretty funny.
I like that idea,
right.
Nick. Thank you.
There
for
we
that.
go. Nick's now got a spot implemented in the show.
He's saying whatever guest is on.
Yeah, let them take a guess. Yeah, I like it. I like that idea. Thank you, Nick.
You've
Just
left
so we can make fun of their answers if they don't get it wrong.
You've left
That's
your
all
mark.
it's
We
really,
appreciate you.
Yes, awesome. And now it's time for birthdays, and we got a week to catch up on. So,
oh boy, here we go.
Go back and forth.
Yeah, we'll you take the first screen, let's take second screen, and I'll take the last one. All right.
Okay, Chris Beers, I hope I do you justice on this, man. All right, here we go. Birthdays for the week or past couple weeks.
Yep.
All right, starting off, Josh Harris, Rupert Bear, Robbie Chapman, Greg Stanley, Jane Cardoza. That's my buddy Jane. She loves watching BBC.
Yep. Carl Roney.
All right, Sam Gilmore, Michelle Martin, Mr. Michael Mag himself, and Todd Wilson.
Happy birthday.
Who's doing the podcast down in Florida?
Yes. Next screen.
There we go.
All right, we're going to do another happy birthday shout out to Steve Everett, Scott Yokulet.
It's good.
Jason Kim, Steph Burnham, Jessica Fullup, I believe it is. Emiliano Garcia, Ryan King, Mark Davis, Gabrielle Huth, and Diego Dantes.
Happy birthday. And Kevin Cacavelli, Tank, Jeffrey DeVito, Tracer Finn, Art Skinner, Matthew Randall, Patrick
Osmus.
Usmus? Shit, I don't know.
Osmus.
Bubba Hayes, Wayne Hardman, my old neighbor Jerry Schmidt, and Eric Gabriel. You guys are celebrating the birthday last week, this week, and today, very happy birthday. We appreciate each and every one of you and everybody tuning in tonight. Thank you.
Absolutely.
You got anything, Damon?
No.
All right.
I'm good.
Nick, you got anything to send us out on?
Shout out.
Looking forward to getting back on tour and on schedule, and hope to see you guys all here in the next month. I'll be up in your area, so hopefully, guys, we get to catch up.
Sounds good, man.
Yeah,
I think we should do pizza when you come up here.
Give me something that's your guys' special.
All right, chili dogs.
Pasties?
Oh, yeah, you got...
Michigan's known for their chili dogs. Give me some. What do you got?
No, we're known for our pasties.
Ooh, what's that?
It's like a meat pie.
Oh, I love pies.
Yeah,
Okay.
picture like a Hot Pocket, only 1,000 times better.
Jeez, that's the way to go. Let's do that.
Right, sounds good.
Also, Fago Pop.
Ooh, we gotta
Vernors.
get some Vernors and Fagos.
Yeah.
You got to give me the whole tour.
All right,
we
sounds
got you.
good.
What, potato
Oh,
chips.
okay.
Oh, we got Uncle Ray's potato
Uncle Ray's
chips.
potato chips.
Or Frito Lay's.
Dude, you're gonna have like
I
a
mean,
whole
Frito.
buffet of just Michigan-based stuff.
Just shit food.
Perfect.
Like-
All I've done is lost weight so far, so let's get back to it.
All right.
All right, Nick.
Hang
We'll
with me-
fix that for
Hang with
ya.
me for 2 days, see what happens.
Wait, doesn't Kid Rock have a new beer coming out?
He's got one all the time.
Yeah.
What's it called? Ball with the ball?
I don't know.
No, skip that, man. You coming up here, I'm going to get you some Ghetto Blaster beer.
Ah, yes, Ghetto Blaster beer for sure.
I got you.
That's good stuff,
All
though.
right.
It is.
Dude.
That's a real beer, by the way.
Sounds horrible.
It is not a malt liquor either. It's actual craft beer.
No kidding.
Yep.
Yes.
All right, there you go.
Okay.
All right, one more time, I want to say thanks to everyone, and a special thanks to our guest for making a 2-week appearance on the show. Thanks again, Nick, and everybody for tuning in this evening. You guys have a great night, and we'll see you Wednesday.
I got moto. I got moto.